In this special conversation of Behind the Strength, Dr. Rickson Pereira opens up about science, soul, and spirit behind transformation. From healing skin to rebuilding self-belief. Through compassion, courage, and clarity, he's redefined what true strength in medicine and humanity means. This episode delves into his journey, his lessons, and the quiet resilience that powers his purpose. Welcome to Behind the Strength, Dr. Pereira.
Thank you for having me.
So, Dr. Pereira, you've built a remarkable career redefining how people see skin and self-confidence. When did you first realize that dermatology could be about more than treatment, that it could be about transformation?
I think growing up, I was dealing with a lot of skin issues, and back in my student days, I was dealing with severe acne, and I never really paid attention to it till someone came up and told me, why are you spoiling your face? Why aren't you paying attention to your face? And that was the first time I realized that people notice.
Right.
And I think something changed that day, and I realized that people pay attention to these things, and and of course your confidence is shaken up when someone comes and makes, just out of nowhere.
Correct.
And I think when I started working on that, and I realized that as my skin got better, it brought on a new confidence, and this is something that I've also seen in practice. So I think my journey towards dermatology, a lot of it began from my own dealing with my own skin issues, and the kind of change that it brought about in me, and also after during when we were studying medicine, the kind of changes that the kind of self-confidence a person gets when they heal from a certain skin disease, or the kind of hit it takes when they're going through something. That is something that sort of inspired me to take up dermatology, and I felt that I think this could something dealing with something like this, or helping people through this, will definitely improve their self-confidence. And self-confidence is something that a person, it changes their day-to-day behaviors, and it influences so much of that, and how they see themselves, how they and I think if your glass is full, then you can pour into others. So so if you feel great about yourself, you can sort of transfer that energy onto the people around you.
Absolutely. In fact, I've seen most of the people who have been very passionate about the work they do, it kind of stems from some incident that's taken place within themselves, as you mentioned. So kind of resonates with what you do.
Absolutely.
What was one defining moment early in your career that tested your faith in yourself but also revealed your true strength?
I think in the initial days, when you start off as a younger doctor, people have a tendency to not take your advice at first go. They will always go and check with a senior, a person who's more experienced. And sometimes there can be a sort of a mismatch between the way two doctors would treat a condition. And I think the fact that I stuck by my guns, and I told them, you have keep faith and just do this, and you will get better. And I think eventually people saw that, and this has happened multiple times. I mean, any young doctor would face this. You give a particular diagnosis, then a person would take a second opinion, and especially if it's a big diagnosis, then a lot of the times the diagnosis and the treatments would align, but there are times when it may not align.
That's true.
And that's when you have to really tell someone, like, just be. I'm confident that you will do well. And I think that sort of and when patients get better, they see that they're happy about it, and
their
then
faith
they start
builds.
talking. Their faith builds.
So many see your calm confidence today. Was there ever a time you doubted your own path, and what helped you stay rooted?
So there was one time when I think I've, as a child, always wanted to be a doctor, so that was always there. But I think around the 12th standard, a lot of doctors told me, don't get into medicine. It's very, it's very hectic, and it's very. So I think for briefly, and as a student, I got good grades, so I briefly and I got good marks for both, which qualified me for both engineering and medicine. So the thing is that I ended up taking engineering, and my medical entrance marks weren't out yet, and everyone told me like engineering is good, you do this, and then you can go out of the country, you can go anywhere in the world, and the day I got my entrance exam rank for medicine, and I knew that I would qualify for a seat in medicine, I said, I don't care how hard it is. I am going to go with this. I feel this is like my passion, and this will be my mission. I see myself doing this for the next 70 to 80 years. So this is what I want to do, and I'm glad I stuck by it. Because people will tell you that there is an easy way out, and you will earn earlier and you will earn better. But I think you'll be very happy if you follow your passion. And self-belief that you can do it well. I think that I think was one of my initial experiences where I sort of had that faith in myself that I would be able to go through with
and
this.
You do end up working harder for something that you're passionate about, and the results speak for itself.
It's not hard work really. You enjoy the process.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, it just flows in.
Yeah.
You deal with daily beauty, image, and perception.
Yeah.
What has this journey taught you about inner beauty and how it shows up on the outside?
I think it's a very important aspect, having inner beauty, having calm, having a sense of understanding of yourself, and that's actually very of course, a person who has a sort of understanding of themselves, and they are more likely to respond better to treatments. They are more likely to get on board. And then there are people whose concept of beauty is so influenced by what others around them tell, and it's very fragile and shattered. And those are the people who tend to be very anxious, and they're the ones who don't trust the process, and they may not get good results. And I've seen this, like I've had to deal with so many women who are so anxious, and especially young girls who are to be brides to be. And they are they have so many people telling them
so much pressure,
like a single zit will break their self-confidence. And somewhere the pressure is so intense that it transfers onto I feel even if they get like one pimple, they'll call up frantically and fix it. They'll not have the patience. And I understand, and that sometimes they may be so anxious that it may actually worsen their acne, all that emotional.
Of course.
And the problem is that they're so influenced by what people around them are telling them that they have. I feel somewhere it affects this. A person who's more calm and more centered, they tend to respond better.
Absolutely.
They are more open to doing things, whereas a person who's anxious is so obsessed with that that actually ends up ends up interfering with their healing.
Of course, and also, as they say, the inner glow kind of helps, the outer transformation that they are seeking.
So the first thing I tell people who come to me, I think my chin doesn't look good, my lips don't look good. People have told me, I said, this is, as a person together, it's not about just one feature, how everything comes together.
Precisely.
And that is important. So you are beautiful in your own way. If you feel like you were with aging or whatever, because of ill health or something, you feel like something has changed and you're not looking like yourself, or you don't feel like yourself, that can be fixed. But don't come with the notion that I want that film star's lips, I want that film star's nose.
Oh my God, yes. I'm sure you must be must be getting a lot of that.
Very unrealistic standards. And I have people coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities requesting, I want this film, I have to look like this actress. And I say, this is not possible. Yeah, it's unrealistic, and you will always be disappointed. And that's where I give authentic advice. There are a lot of people who they would go to someone else and they will start a whole process, and in the end the patient ends up feeling very cheated and disappointed.
Of course.
And so the authentic advice is keep realistic. This is not going to happen, and I think you should and sometimes it comes from very beautiful looking women, you know, and you have to tell them, you have to make them see their beauty. I said, in this whole process of trying to be someone else, you are not enjoying what you look like.
Precisely.
Yeah, I think just some good grooming will just fix it for you, and you should be able to enjoy how you look. I mean, you're so young.
Precisely.
Enjoy your youth. It's going to go away someday. So
Absolutely. I think you're playing the job of a therapist as well.
absolutely, we do that. Yeah, somehow we end up doing that.
Because as you said, it's always connected to the psyche. I mean, if you're dealing
Yes.
with a person's looks, confidence, so many things which are dealing with. I mean, if you're dealing with, it's all to do with their mental well-being at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So we have to sort of get them to see the light or see themselves in a much better way than they are currently. You know, the people can be very judgmental about and very self-critical.
Precisely,
Yeah.
of course. Success in aesthetics is as much about empathy as expertise, as we're just talking.
Yes.
How do you stay compassionate when the world only looks for results?
Exactly. So, you know, as an extension to the previous
Precisely,
question,
yes.
it's people come with a lot of because there is so much judgment placed on people on their looks, and because of which it causes a lot of anxiety.
Right.
I think the first time a lot of the times when they come to me and I just tell them that, you know what, you are beautiful, you are good looking. There is absolutely nothing that I would change in you. There are a lot of patients I reject and say, please don't do anything. And if this is coming from a person like me who does work for people
Precisely.
and who does injectables or treatments, if I'm telling you don't do it, then don't do it.
Of course, it's coming from authority.
It's coming from authority.
Yes.
So a lot of the times people are just happy with that. You know, they just come for a validation that, you know, nothing is wrong with me.
Precisely.
And that is and I mean, that kind of empathy, I mean, both end up feeling great. You know, even I feel like I've done my authentic,
Right.
given my authentic advice, and for them, it can be such a confidence booster.
Absolutely.
And I tell them, you know, and young girls, you know, people who are in their, girls who are in their 20, 22, they'll come with all kinds of, and nowadays I've seen a lot of teenage boys also come with.
Oh yeah, my God,
Yeah,
it's become very
everyone.
rampant now. Everybody's there.
Absolutely. And to tell them that, you know what, I don't need to see you for 5 years, just don't bother.
Yeah, don't show up
Don't
for
show
some
up.
time.
Yeah, absolutely. At least with not this
Yeah.
with this concern. I think you're good.
Yeah.
And that comes from a place of empathy. And growing up, like, again, I've had body image issues, and you know, you want to see yourself a certain way, and but also at the same time, it's also important to guide people into,
Right,
you
of
know,
course.
if their lifestyle has been, if what they're seeing is not good, if I always discuss lifestyle, you know, whether they've been exercising, whether they've been eating right, have they been sleeping,
Correct.
if they are into you know, alcohol, smoking, a lot of people do weed, you know, all of
Yeah.
these things can sort of affect you mentally
course.
also, and eventually it affects your physical well-being.
Of course.
So these are the things that one must guide through. And I mean, myself, like, I used to be an obese child, and you know how I worked myself out of it. And you can't just sit back and you know, hope things would happen. You know, once
Yeah.
the whole part about growing up and being an adult is taking control of things that you can
Absolutely.
take control,
Yes.
and change them for the better.
Of course. But you speaking about the boys coming, you know, at this age, I think everything, like considering the Gen Z as they speak of
Yes.
right now,
Yes.
they've become very self-critical.
Yes.
Or I think there's more pressure on them.
Absolutely.
Because of social media, lifestyle, peer pressure, so many
Absolutely.
factors that I don't think we had growing up.
Absolutely.
That today it's more, so I think they are coming in at a more nascent stage is because of all these factors.
Absolutely.
And somewhere it could affect them mentally.
Absolutely.
So, you know, how do you deal with something like that? Because if, say, a boy has come to you with some issue, some random issue, it might
Yeah.
not be very important.
Right.
But how do you deal with, you know, something like that? Because that boy might have some baggage that he's
Absolutely.
coming with.
So the first thing is never dismiss it.
Yeah,
You
of
know, I
course.
never dismiss it because for that, at that stage in a person's life, that may be the most important thing to them.
Precisely.
So definitely you have to deal with empathy and compassion that comes. But I also try to make them see the light in the
Right.
sense that there are ways to fix this,
Correct.
but don't sort of base your whole self-confidence
Yes.
on this. It should not be this one factor.
Right.
I mean, you're much more than
Yes.
your looks and your features. Of course, there has to be, if somebody is not following a healthy lifestyle, which a lot of young people do, they are not guided and
In the right direction.
in the right direction. And especially in India, we don't pay a lot of attention to physical health. We're more,
Yes.
parents generally tell them. Very few parents actually realize the importance of physical well-being. They are constantly pushing their children into academics, and the
Correct.
child may not enjoy it. And sometimes that stress and constant parental supervision, a lot of children tend to
Rebel.
avoid their parents, and
Rebel,
they sit
yeah.
up late nights.
Yes.
Because that's the time when the parents are not awake.
Precisely.
And they'll sit, from 11 to say 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yes.
Just to avoid their parents. There's a lot of parents are overbearing, and all those issues play out in different ways, and they may come with a simple thing like acne, or they may come with dark circles because they haven't been taking care, or they'll stress eat, and there are skin issues which come because of bad dietary habits. So all of these show up in different ways, and sort of identifying those factors and telling them, like, maybe you should start giving priority to your health, and that will actually transform your skin. A lot of the times acne may just be because of bad dietary habits or lifestyle choices.
Precisely.
It doesn't require medicine. I mean, medicine initially maybe, but the long-term management is just good lifestyle habits.
Precisely.
And sometimes they don't know the kind of lifestyle they're living, or the kind of actions they decisions that they take may not be in their best interest, and sometimes you have to make them see it.
Correct.
That this may not be in your best interest or your long-term health.
Right.
And the good thing about Gen Z is they understand.
They understand.
And I think when it comes from a doctor, they are more likely to listen to it than their parents.
Precisely.
So I think that's where, and I've seen a lot of young guys in like teenagers, both boys and girls. You tell them, give up on junk food, don't eat this, and give them a choice. Maybe you should try this. They are very careful.
They are very
they
careful
understand the importance, and a lot of the times the parents don't understand that this is. They should not be eating this, and sometimes the parents will force the child because this is what they are eating at home, and they'll not listen to the child. So that could be a good point where I make the parents understand that these are the things you should be stocking at home, so that whoever is hungry, or whenever the child feels like eating something, then this is what they should be eating. So it's like an all-round therapy.
It's basically holistic.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it's not only dermatology. It's like you're actually helping them with a lifestyle change.
Absolutely. And the thing is, good skin and hair comes out of good like internal health.
Yes.
And habits are very important. Good habits are very important towards achieving that.
True. Every professional faces criticism or comparison.
Yes.
How have you learned to silence the noise and stay focused on your craft?
Yeah. So the thing is, there have been a lot of, we see on social media, in fact, social media drives a lot of unhealthy trends, and sometimes a lot of fake and bogus treatments are rampantly shown on, and there is no accountability if anything goes wrong. And we get a lot of inquiries about, why are you not doing this? Are you offering this treatment? For example, things like, say, IV drips for healthy people. Everyone comes and asks me. I said, I don't believe in it. First of all, a healthy person doesn't need drips.
Yes.
You just have to follow good lifestyle diet, and these sometimes it's these simplest of things are the most difficult to follow. Consistency with these things are the most difficult things to follow, and they want a shortcut. They feel like,
I was just going to say that, a quick fix.
A quick fix.
Yes.
They think that an IV drip will remedy hours of days of not sleeping well, or daily drinking and being hungover. They feel like this will neutralize that.
Exactly.
So there are some treatments which I tell patients that I am not offering, then there's a reason for it. It's not like I don't have the resources or
of course, yes.
So if it was really benefiting someone, I would have offered it at the clinic, but I just don't believe, and that's where I stand by my conviction. Like, if I'm convinced that this thing is not going to work, I will not do it. And on the other hand, if something is if I know that it will work really well, I will actually explain to the patient why I think this should this will do well for you.
Right.
What happens is, a lot of with research into diseases, a lot of new molecules come to the are available now in India to treat long-standing diseases like psoriasis, eczema.
Of course.
And what I've seen is the older doctors, senior doctors, they may sometimes not accept them. There's a lot of skepticism.
Okay.
Whereas as a younger doctor, I'm more open to using them, because the thing is that newer medicines come with uh, improved efficacy as well as improved safety.
Absolutely. A lot of testing.
Absolutely. So there is a lot of data to back that up. And a lot of times patients are very skeptical, you know what, this is a new medicine, and I said no, but there is data available to back it up. It's been around in Western countries for a while now, and I think you should really take it, and so if I'm convinced that it's going to work, then I will put my conviction and tell them, look, listen, this is, even I don't worry about this, I'm there, I will take care of you, don't worry about any side effects, those are not going to happen. You start this, and it's been life changing for a lot of people, so it goes both ways, criticism can happen for things that you're not convinced to do, and also it can happen when that are convinced but others are not on board,
board with it.
That a lot of those both situations show up.
So how do you deal with something like that? You still follow your
you follow my gut instinct,
and your gut instinct,
and of course it comes from experience, and you read about things,
the knowledge,
of course you assimilate data and then you make a decision. It's not random.
No, of course not. I'm certain. Medicine can be emotionally draining.
Yes.
What does self-care look like to you, not as a doctor but as a human being?
So I largely practice what I preach.
Right.
I think being in good physical form is very important for a profession like medicine, because the thing is, as you get more experience, as you become more senior in the profession, your workload increases. This is one profession. As you get older, your workload increases.
Yes, because you get a few grey strands and people like, you're very experienced.
Yes. So I feel like there is a sort of mismatch between the energy levels in your body versus the kind of demands from work.
Absolutely.
So I feel like the way to approach it would be to prioritize certain things in life. I think as you get older, these become more important.
Correct.
One is sleep. So sleep is on priority. Physical fitness, exercise is on priority. Nutrition is on priority. So these are three things that I sort of pay attention to, and I prioritize this. I don't sometimes to the point where I will adjust my work around this, because I just feel like if I'm in good physical form, I think I can just give more. And there is good data to show that being in good physical form improves everything, including your cognition, your ability to do things, your intelligence, your coordination. And if this is something that I intend to do for, say, the next 30 to 40 years, and I better be able to give it my best.
Absolutely.
So and of course, and I have my hobbies, I like aquariums, plants, gardening, all of that. So these are there, and
grounding factors.
Like, it's very important.
You've seen, people walk into your clinic feeling broken.
Yes.
And leave hopeful.
Yes.
What has that taught you about healing that textbooks don't mention?
Yes. So self-confidence and hope goes a long way in healing a person. I totally believe that. And even if this... so we deal with a lot of conditions which require lifelong management. There is no cure because they are rooted in genetics, and these are controlling genes are not, it's not always possible to do that, or their expression. But knowing that, there has been a lot of research, there have been a lot of medical advances, and there are medicines available to completely change the quality of life of an individual. And that is the confidence I have, and I tell that to the person, look, it may not be curable, but I can dramatically improve your quality of life or make it look like you never had that condition. And there are good available, like for example, psoriasis, eczema, we see this, these can be debilitating to a person's self-confidence, having like rash on your skin, it affects intimacy between relationships, maybe the spouse or the partner may not like what they see, or, and it affects your occupation, job prospects. Absolutely.
On so many levels.
Absolutely. So, giving them that confidence that, see, you may have to deal with the rest of your life, but I can make it so much better that you'll never feel like this is around, or this will not hold you back.
Absolutely.
And that is I feel like that plays a huge role in how people heal, and when that self-confidence improves, they do so much better, and it's that one thing which changes everything in their life.
Absolutely.
So I feel privileged to be in that position. It's I just feel very grateful. Yeah.
That is a great position to be in.
Yes.
It also has a flip side. But again, as I say, expectations are the flip side.
Yes.
But I think experience kind of handles that.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not wrong. Behind every confident patient is a doctor who believes in them.
Yes.
What does leadership mean to you in this deeply personal profession?
Yes. So leadership, I would say, is the ability to guide a person into. I think a lot of. What leadership is to basically clear the noise around a person, and I tell them, like, forget all the judgments, let's just focus on this one thing, and let me get you out of this, and things will change around you. So a lot of the time people, they will, even during the treatment, they may be impatient, or sometimes things may take a little longer than expected, and I think trying to get them to be patient and maintain, be calm through the whole process. Sometimes unexpected side effects turn out, may happen with. So, trying to keep them calm and centered, and providing that kind of guidance that you will be fine, and even if there is a setback, we will get you out of it and put you back on track. I think that kind of leadership. It's like guiding people through someone's through their journey.
Literally.
So I think so. It's sometimes that's why I keep. I tell patients, let me take the lead as far as this is concerned. You just submit yourself to me, and don't worry, I will take care of you. You let this should be one less thing that you need to worry about.
Absolutely,
leave that to me.
Yes.
So I think that calms a lot of people down, and it helps their.
They feel that we have the support.
Absolutely.
Right there. Yes.
They have someone who's in charge and who can get them out of this.
That's great. What's the hardest decision you've ever had to make for your practice, and how did you find the courage to make it?
Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, there are a lot of unhealthy trends that I would not approve of, and when people come asking for it, and that time to put your foot down, that I will not do this, and there's a reason why I won't do this. And I'm not comfortable doing these treatments at the clinic. You are free to go elsewhere. If I think that sometimes not following trends can be something, but eventually people see through why.
But a trend is a trend.
Yeah, a trend
it's
is
short-lived.
Absolutely,
it's short-lived.
People agree, and I've had patients who come back to me after 4 or 5 years. They just go somewhere else, and then they'll come after 4 to 5 years, and then they're like, the trend's gone.
It's gone, and it didn't work.
It didn't
really work.
It didn't really work.
Yeah.
So those are things.
Yes. You mentor young dermatologists who look up to you. What one lesson do you wish every upcoming doctor understood about the purpose before profit? I think it can, again, another extension to.
Absolutely. So you should never be driven by money. Money is just profit is just a byproduct of passion, okay? And but at the same time, don't undervalue yourself.
Absolutely,
So that's very important.
Maintain a balance.
Maintain a balance. It's important to work on your craft. You have to update yourself. You have to, be aware of what's happening around you, global trends, something that you think you could, that could benefit people in your practice. Right. So the guiding principle should be something that you feel passionate about and you think will change lives. Introduce those into your practice. Work on your craft. Be consistent. Don't lose focus. And don't give in to trends. Sometimes you can see, with medicine there are things that you can try and see if it fits in your practice. Not everything is unscientific. Some things may work for you in your practice, some things may not work for you in your practice, but never let profit be the guiding factor. You have to be your authentic self.
Absolutely.
Be consistent, be focused, and upgrade or upskill yourself. I think
Always.
those are always those
Ongoing education.
ongoing. It's always, medicine is always learning.
Always, yes.
Principles change, things
Yes.
evolve with every decade, and
Absolutely.
something that maybe which was relevant 10 years earlier may not be relevant now.
Today, yes, of course.
And things evolve. Like, you can have just better. Things are only getting better with time.
Absolutely,
So we have
yes.
so many options and so many untreatable diseases. There were no treatments for it, or no one really understood.
Yes.
There have been so many insights into pathology of diseases
Correct.
that you have much more to offer right now than it was
Yes.
probably 10 to 15 years ago.
Absolutely. When you look at your journey from doctor to change maker, what's the impact you most hope to leave behind?
I would like to be thought of as someone who changed or sort of rewrote their relationship with themselves. It's something which I feel like if what a person should remember is how they felt when they were with me and when they left, how they came
Absolutely.
walking in and how they left, and
Yes.
that they were positive and more hopeful.
Right.
And the feeling that always remains, the feeling when you were with someone and
Right.
how they made you feel
At that
and
point.
at that point, and hopefully it should be positive, and that's what I would like to remember them. And if I was if I give them a dose of tough love, it's only for
Oh, yeah.
it's only for their benefit.
for their
Sometimes
benefit,
I
yes.
tend to no, listen to me,
You
this
have
is for
to.
your good.
Yes.
And I hope that they understand that it was for their own good.
Yes. No, I'm certain when they see a long-term result, or not having done something and then the result of
Yes.
and the relief.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sure that the tough love
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
Absolutely.
helps them. Working with people's appearance means working with their insecurities.
Yes.
What's one story of transformation that has stayed with you long after the patient has left?
I think there are actually many. I remember there was this patient who came to me with severe psoriasis. Severe psoriasis, as in he was covered from head to toe with plaques, and he had psoriatic arthritis also. So he could he could not get out of bed immediately. He used
painful.
Very painful, and you have to literally wait for for 30 to 45 minutes to slowly for your joints to warm up and be able to move. And the thing is, around that time, he came to me for his psoriasis, and around that time, a new medicine had come in for psoriasis, something called as biologics. And of course, I had known that because it was available abroad internationally for a few years before it came to India. And I was convinced that this would help him. And I actually referred him to another doctor for his joint issues, and the doctor was like, no, don't do it, and had already explained to him that this is safe and it will be life changing for him. And he came back, he said, although the other doctor said don't get onto this medicine, I believe you and I will get onto this medicine. And it was an expensive medicine, and we started therapy. In about 6 weeks his psoriasis was clear, his joints were painless.
Oh my God.
And
wow.
he used that opportunity to transform himself. He had become, because he couldn't move around much, and and that stress eating, he had become obese, he couldn't exercise, he couldn't travel. And he used that opportunity to start exercising. He exercised, turned around his life. He used to go on treks, he used to go on, he started traveling the world for work. It was life changing, and I was so happy to see. He was always very grateful, and it was so life changing that I was so happy. Sometimes you feel just very glad to see the transformation. Even it was much better and much more rapid than I expected, and that was one thing. Again, similar with another patient with eczema. Eczema from head to toe, not being treated correctly, not giving the withholding. Doctors usually don't try newer medicine. They are much more, they wait for someone else to try it. And again, in a month, the eczema cleared out. This young girl was able to attend concerts, and she used to be scratching the whole day. Even in during the consultation, she could not stop herself from scratching. And she started taking part in all these mud sports, she attended concerts, she danced her, completely transformed. So these are things that they just warm your heart. And you feel so
Absolutely.
good about yourself,
Yes.
and we're so happy that a person does so well.
They are like
It's life-changing.
affirmations. They
Absolutely.
are affirmations that I'm
Absolutely.
on the right path, I'm doing the right thing.
Absolutely. And they're so
Wow.
grateful for that, it just warms your heart.
That's endearing. Uh, how do you balance ambition with authenticity in a world that often celebrates only the surface?
Yeah, I think I think it's my authentic self that has gotten me so far.
Yes.
So I think I mean, ambition is like a byproduct of ambition, in the sense that I know what are the things that I prioritize in life. I think back when I was younger, my goal was, okay, I want to have like 5 branches and I want to do this. But over a period of time, when you understand how life goes and
Right.
what are the things you should be able to give your best, I think those
True.
ambitions evolve and they change. Now my ambitions are different. I want to be physically fit. I want to sleep well. I want to eat
Yes.
well, maintain my physical fitness. I want to get technologies and treatments to my practice, which I feel will change lives, will dramatically improve quality of life of a person who's suffering. So those ambitions have changed. I want to be more, instead of having like 5 branches and not being able to give my best. I feel like a consolidated practice is better, and where I can focus and I can deliver quality and I can have a one-on-one rapport with everyone.
With everybody,
I think
yes.
that has kind of I think that is my authentic self, and I think that has sort of influenced my ambition.
That's where it should stem from.
Yeah.
What keeps you grounded when fame or success start to grow louder than intention?
I think I know where I came from.
Yes.
I came from like a lower middle class family who probably wouldn't have been able to afford sending me abroad or doing, like, getting a paid seat in medicine. So I was lucky enough to get the grades, and during my initial years immediately after my MD, I actually found the right people. I was lucky enough to get the right people in my life who could leverage me, my position, and give me this the ability to do my own clinical practice. So I think I have only gratitude for that, and I think that keeps me grounded. Like, I'll never forget where I came from, and the people in my life who have helped me reach this position. So I think as you become more the more and more success you get, you become more grounded, because you have that much more gratitude
Absolutely.
for that success.
I think the roots get stronger.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think that keeps me grounded. Like, I mean, it's just, I wouldn't have imagined, I imagined a reasonable amount of success, but this kind of success is not something that I probably, it came as a byproduct, but not, I don't take it for granted at all.
That's nice, and it's a very there's a lot of humility when you say that, because when people are successful, they say, "No, we've not done anything so far. We've got so much to do." No, but it's very nice to acknowledge that yes, you have come a long way.
Absolutely, and there have been people who are responsible for that success, including my team now. My clinic team, they are so hardworking and they are so passionate about their work, and I think that it's not a one-person job. Like, there is an absolute team behind your success.
Always.
And I think I'm grateful for those people, people in my team also who show up every day, who show up with the same passion and put in that same, and who sort of put in the same amount of passion that I do, so that
they mirror it.
They mirror it.
Yes. If you could speak to your younger self, that medical student just starting out, what would you tell him about strength and self-belief?
I think, I always had a sort of self-confidence, a level of self-confidence as far as my things like, medicine is concerned. Like, there was one thing that I was sure about is my skills as a doctor.
Right.
That I was sure about. But other things in life, maybe if you tell me, like, get into dancing or do something else, I would not be this. But medicine is something, I was not so sure about those. But medicine is something that I was always sure of.
Yeah.
And I think just...
you have to feel it
you
from
go with
within.
your gut,
Yes.
Go with your gut instinct, and of course, it comes from, like, you read, you assimilate data, and put for, like, and then you go with a reasonable amount of confidence that, okay, this is my assessment and analysis, and I think this should work in a situation, and I think that has gotten me to where I am. So
Right.
so I think that is something that has actually helped me to get to where I am.
Great. What does the word healing mean to you beyond medicine?
I think healing is, I think, where you find peace. I think, and it has to be a combination of, say, what gives me peace is like the fact that it has always been a combination of passion, focus, consistency. And I think at the end of the day, when you feel like you've done a good, although it's been a long day, but it was a fulfilling day.
Yeah.
I think that gives you peace.
Peace at the end of the day.
So that is the most important thing to me. Yeah.
In a time when everyone wants instant change, as we were talking about quick fixes, what's your message to those struggling to stay patient on their journey?
I think that it takes time. I mean, everything takes time, like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So
True.
whether it comes to practice, whether it comes to results, whether it's a doctor who's setting up a practice, whether it's and especially in medicine, things take time.
And
Whether it's a patient who's
yes.
expecting, their skin disease to improve, everything takes a time. Just believe in the process, be consistent, follow what you are supposed to do, and I think it will give results. Patience always gives
True.
results.
And also quick fixes, instant results do tend to have adverse effects.
Absolutely.
The knowledge of that,
Yeah.
I think...
Yeah. Never take impulsive decisions. I mean, you can shop impulsively.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. But when it comes to decisions like these, I feel like they should be backed by a good analysis, going over data, and it always has to be a very well thought out decision. It should not be random and impulsive.
The authority that's actually backing the data also makes a very big difference.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise today you've got Google and Chat GPT who's the new doctor in town. So, like literally, I mean, anything, it's always these two. But there's always a little more experience that comes in when it is from the right source.
Absolutely. No, and see, most of my practice has been built up on word of mouth. Like, I've never advertised. And I think if you go slowly, and the thing is that you start small and build it up. I think that is always a better than creating a big splash.
Oh, yes.
And overburdening yourself with expectations.
True.
I think you start small and go slow, and I think that would be, at least that's what I have done, and that's worked for me.
Yes.
And you gradually upscale.
True.
And it's also that you should not, go in with a reasonable amount of confidence, believe in yourself. You should not hold yourself back too much also. That's also important, because that's how growth will happen. Don't get complacent, and don't be afraid to try new things. You should always try things and see if they work or not. If they don't work, then don't go with it, but never not try. If something that intrigues you, at least give it a try and see if things work for you.
If it works.
Yeah.
What do you believe is your greater mission, the purpose behind the profession?
I think it's, like I said before, just making people, improving people's self-confidence, changing their relationship with themselves. If there is a disturbance in that, you provide a sort of backing, and you tell people, I've got your back.
Right.
You can trust me with this, and you can look forward to getting better.
Right.
So yeah, healing is, of course, healing is the thing. Like, there's so many aspects of a person's life, which are disturbed, and one of them is your health, and
Correct.
provide the right kind of guidance to improve that, and
Absolutely.
and it transforms, it changes a lot of things around them.
Have you ever come across, having, spoken about so much, have you ever come across someone, and I'm sure you have, with women or men having midlife crisis, who
Yes.
want to change their look?
Yes.
Who want to feel better about themselves, though
Yes.
it is, of course, everything is not look dependent, but for
Yes.
them somewhere it is.
Yes.
Just a little thing here,
Yes.
there, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So how does that kind of, how do you deal with something like that? I mean, of course, you're going to provide them the service you think is going to be right for them.
Absolutely.
But psychologically, dealing with something like that and
so I always advocate for small changes because
Right.
they'll come in expecting to look completely different, or they'll get me a photo and I want to look like this now. I'm like, that's not possible. But let's start small and you adjust to what you see and then take it one step at a time. So the process needs to be, I always advocate for small changes. So
Right.
I always ask them what bothers you the most. Just you've listed like say 10 things that you feel are
Correct.
wrong about yourself. What bothers you the most?
Right.
Let's start with that. And usually that is, and at the same time, course correction again, because they've never paid attention to their health and they've landed in this situation.
Right.
So a lot of things need to be changed, and of course midlife crisis can show up in different forms like pickleball, paddleball. So
Okay, yes,
so-
I was going to
and
try
injury.
pickleball. I think I'm going to be a bit of midlife.
And they end up in injuries. So that's why I
Yes.
tell them you have to, even if you want to take up something like that, you have to
Right.
prepare your body. If you've never been physically active and this is
True.
not the first thing you should do, go slow. And again, so the same with skincare and hair care and this, you have to fix lifestyle and start with small things, and
Yes.
usually that works out. You
Yeah.
don't want to look. Say you met a group of friends on Friday and the next Friday you look completely different.
Yes,
You don't
but
want to look that.
because that actually happened with someone that I knew. I mean, I'm not going to suppose to say that, but the person looked completely different before, and she was very pretty.
Yeah.
I kid you not, she was really very pretty, and she has looked completely different without
Yes.
being able to speak in a matter of 5 days.
Exactly. So you don't want that.
Nobody wants
Yeah,
that.
nobody wants that.
I mean,
So-
not anybody would term that as a midlife crisis or as something gone wrong, because
Absolutely.
that would have affected her mental well-being
Absolutely.
much more than.
Absolutely, and it's it's my job as a physician to sort of let them see reality and say, if there have been times when I have put my foot down and said, no, we will not do this, it will not be good for you.
Yes.
And they have gone elsewhere.
Precisely.
And they have gotten a
Overboard.
botched job, and then they've come back to undo things. So, and that's not what we want, because
Because undoing
eventually-
is not very easy, is
it's
it?
not easy. So,
course.
and undoing and then redoing it. So a lot of times I will treat a patient and do certain treatments, and then they want more.
Right.
And I tell them more is not good.
Yes.
Let's stop here and take a break.
Precisely.
Enjoy what is already improved.
Exactly.
Take time of, enjoy what you see.
Right.
And there's been a change definitely, and a positive change. So enjoy that rather than, because more may not be good. And then because I put my foot down and refuse to treat, then they go elsewhere, botch it up, and then I have to undo it, and I have to undo all my work also, because
Oh my
sometimes
God.
undoing is not easy. It cannot be precise. It just
Of course not.
It undoes all your previous work, and then
you
you will
can't-
start over again.
And you can't ever get back the original.
Exactly. So then you
Because-
start all over again.
Precisely. Oh my
So
God.
so this is
That's
this
a
is
lot
the-
of pressure.
That's a lot of
That's a
pressure.
lot of
But
pressure.
through it, I've always maintained, because then if you give in to what a person says all the time and it looks bad, they may also turn around and tell you, you were the doctor, you should have known better. So that the flip side is also there. So that's
always
the reason.
there.
So it's better for my mental peace also, that if I feel like this is not going to be good for them, I would just advise and put my foot down. Look, don't do
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Okay, finally, Dr. Rickson, what's behind your strength?
What's behind my strength? That's a good question. I think the fact that I'm in a privileged position to help people make their lives better, I think that drives me the most. And I also do that by example. I try to keep myself in the best possible condition, and so I can give people the confidence, like, you can also get better.
Lead by example.
Lead by example. So I think that, and being consistent
Right.
and focused,
Right.
I think that drives me. Other than, and including a just passion for medicine, I just love it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And it's been great chatting with you and understanding your journey. It's been lovely. Thank you.